morning. Welcome to Monday. Today is not my finest day. I'm, first of all, not super happy about being up so early in the morning. Second of all, my arm has become pretty much useless, and so I've been wearing it in a sling for the past day or so. It hurts so much to try to move it, and even just like trying to support the weight of my arm with my shoulder is just too much. I'm like so out of breath just from trying to get ready. It feels like this might be something more serious than what I thought, which is not good news. It almost feels like I broke or dislodged some hardware or something. I think I might need to get some x-rays just to make sure everything is in the right place. I would probably be going to a doctor for that this morning if I didn't already have appointments made for testing for my knee. I'm actually on my way to get an EMG test on my leg, and I am dreading it so much. I thought that I had successfully avoided any EMG testing, but it has caught up with me. Basically, they put needles into the muscles and then they shock them and see how you react. And sounds really fun. Can't wait. Definitely update you guys on that one. I'm secretly hoping that maybe we can get some of the MRIs done today, but that might end up just being too much for my body. I just want to get the MRIs done. I really wanted to have them done by Wednesday when I see the nerve specialist, hoping that maybe he could give me a little bit of insight. But it got kind of held up in the insurance approval process. I don't know when the next available slot for imaging will be. So there's a lot up in the air right now. I'm feeling pretty terrible, but at least we're getting answers. Apparently, you need to be burning hot before they can start the procedure. This is torture, and we haven't even started the testing yet. Hello, people. I am back from my EMG test. It was like not even close to as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was being a total baby about that. Honestly, it was like nothing. Well, to me, I'm sure that everybody has different experiences. I wanted to film it, but a lot of hospitals have policies that you're not supposed to film like medical testing. It was a little bit different than I expected. I'm not sure if it's the same with everyone. But what they did was first they heated my leg up a lot. Like it was burning hot. And then they put electrodes all over, and she had a little shocking wand is all I can think to say. It looks like a taser, basically. It has two little prongs, and so she basically just like electric shocked a whole bunch of different areas at varying intensities. The feeling isn't too unlike the feeling of the TENS unit or the electric shock feeling that I've been having from my nerves lately anyway, but it was just much stronger. So with every jolt, my whole leg and foot tensed and twitched. It was actually a little bit cool. And so their computer just takes in all of that data and sees how you react to that. And then after that was the part that I was really kind of dreading. It was the part with the needles, but they didn't do any shocking me with the needles, which was what I was expecting. So that was nice. Basically, they just stuck the needle in, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a big needle. I think it was about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. She stuck it all the way into the muscle and just move it around a little bit and have me move my leg in a certain way. The machine was recording that as well. The coolest part about that is like you could hear it on the computer. It sounded like some kind of Doppler to me. You could hear like the energy going through. It hurt, but not much. Mostly it just felt sore and just like a very uncomfortable sensation. Then we were done, and it wasn't so bad at all. So now I'm just sore. My muscles are very sore. It almost feels like I worked out a whole lot, but obviously didn't. Still a little bit tingly, but that's about it. So don't be scared if you need to get an EMG test. I think that people just make a big deal out of it, and that totally psyched me out. So don't be like me and psych yourself out. It'll be okay. Now I really need to go to sleep though. I slept maybe 2 hours last night. Not a good 2 hours either. I texted Trish and I let her know what was going on. She's very concerned. I'm very concerned. She'll check it out tomorrow and then we'll decide if I think I need some imaging done. I swear, every time I feel like I'm getting a handle on something, something new just like totally falls apart. And even going in today with the sling, I was like, I don't want to scare off these orthopedics. Like, I really need them to help me. A, they're going to think I'm crazy, or B, they're going to think I'm too complicated. I've already got the mask, and I'm in the wheelchair, and I have the feeding tube. So I put on this shawl and just, like, covered up my arm the whole time. I just don't want to scare these ones off. It's frustrating. I'm struggling right now. I can only use one arm, and I'm thanking God that it's my right arm, because my left hand is very uncoordinated as is, but I cannot use my left arm at this point. I have so many things that I need to get done, and they're not going to get done. Like, even using a computer, I'm struggling to type with one hand. It took me forever to edit that video last night. I can't really do much crocheting. I can't really make jewelry. I'm having a hard time even just packing up my Etsy orders. I really can't function like this. A little bit worried about what this might all mean. But I can't change it. All I can do is my best. So I'm going to take a nap, regroup all of my thoughts, and then just keep going. I just woke up. Well, actually, I woke up and then my nurse, Kayla, came and accessed me. I'm going to see if maybe I can run 2 bags of fluid tonight, since tomorrow I have physical therapy and then I have my MRIs afterwards. So I can't really fit in a bag of fluids before physical therapy. I don't want to do it during, because she's going to be doing some manipulations on my shoulder area and I don't want it to get in the way. And then I have to de-access for the MRI because they don't want to do it with the needle in. Or at least that's what they said on the phone. They're going to see when I get there, I guess. So I'm probably going to have to de-access tomorrow night and then re-access on Wednesday, which I'm not super excited about because it's just, you get a little bit sore, which is fine. It's no big deal, but it's just annoying. Actually, everything is kind of annoying right now. I'm not coping well to using one hand. I think it's just a mixture between, well, first of all, being in pain, but like when your whole back is rigid, your whole leg is rigid, and then you can only use one arm. I feel very limited and like almost claustrophobic. Like, I feel like I can't do anything. I didn't realize how much work it would be to do things one-handed. Stuff like just basic port care, screwing and unscrewing things. Just like plugging my phone in is like a struggle. So I'm feeling a little bit useless right now. Luckily, Trish told me to come in a little bit early tomorrow so that we could really focus on what the heck is going on. I wasn't doing something stupid or anything. I was literally just like walking around, same way I hurt my knee. Like, I guess maybe I've been overcompensating for my legs with supporting myself on my arms lately, but that's the only thing I can think of that I might have done to cause this. I don't know, we're still hoping it's just like a minor thing, but at this point, unless we've ruled out any of the other options, I don't feel super comfortable doing any exercises for it. Literally just getting dressed has been bringing me to tears. It's just all terrible timing, but it's never good timing to injure yourself. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy if I don't do something. It stinks because I have so many video scripts written up that I really want to film, and I have so many things to list on Etsy. And I'm just like waiting and waiting to get my camera back. I did get a notification that it is on its way to me. They don't repair that model anymore. They are going to be sending me the same or a similar model of camera, and they can't tell me if it's going to be brand new or a refurbished version, but I don't really care as long as it suits my needs. I just need something that takes the video and has better sound quality than my phone, but I am really excited to be getting it back soon. Honestly, I'm still in shock about this. I have no idea what I have done to deserve you guys. You guys are the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, and I am just so eternally grateful every single day for meeting every one of you and for everyone who watches my videos. I was given one of the most gracious gifts I've ever been given in my life, and that is one of you guys, Mo, decided to pay for the repairs to my camera by sending me an Amazon gift card. I'm still speechless, and it's been like 2 weeks. It's so unnecessary and so appreciated. You have absolutely no idea what this means to me, and I just want to say it is going straight back into this community. I feel like I can now include some things in the upcoming giveaway that I would have been unable to, and I'm now able to afford some things that I've needed for quite a while and was putting off because of the camera repair. So there aren't any words to really thank you, Mo, but I hope this is enough. And I will try to continually show my appreciation through making videos each and every week. You know, every time, just when things start to go wrong, you guys really step it up and prove to me that there are just so many amazing people in this world, and there's so much more good than there is bad. Just thank you. That's all I can say. Okay, so the day has caught up with me, and the mast cell is flaring. Just between lack of sleep and the pain, and then the testing, then having my port accessed, and then the icing on the cake, my family making chicken parm, my body's down for the count. I would explain it to feel like the worst flu that you've ever had, plus like a panic attack, except like your body's having a panic attack and your mind isn't fully clued in, and maybe add a sunburn on top of that. And that's what myself feels like. This is my first serious reaction since I started on the ketotifen, and I have to say, I think I have noticed a bit of a difference. I think mostly sinus-wise. Usually during a reaction I have a lot more congestion and sinus drainage. Yeah, super glamorous, I know. But honestly, ever since I started on the ketotifen, my postnasal drip seems to be a lot better. And that's actually a really huge deal for me. That's been a huge problem for a long time. It doesn't sound like it would be a big problem, but if you imagine not being able to properly swallow on top of having bad postnasal drip, you can imagine that it causes a lot of problems for me. And I would say that my throat is also not burning quite as badly. It doesn't seem to have done anything for the body aches and chills, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take anything. Good morning, you guys. It is Tuesday morning. I have a big day ahead of me. We are off to physical therapy, and then after that we're having my MRIs for my leg and knee. I'm not feeling so hot, so it's gonna be a bit of a rough day. I have had one of those mornings where it just seems like anything that can go wrong went wrong. I had the entire bag of feeding tube formula just burst all over me and all over everything. So that was great, and I spilled a lot of water multiple times. I am not functioning very well with one arm. It is not my forte. I barely function with two arms, but after the morning I've had, I like to think that it can only get better from here. And I texted Trish, and we decided that in PT today she's not going to realign my leg. That way they can see on the imaging what's actually going on and not the correction, which is actually really good because then we can focus on whatever the heck is going on with my neck. I'm gonna head out and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. I'm trying to wave. Bye. Hello, you guys, and welcome to the second installment of Christina not taking things seriously enough. So I just saw my physical therapist, and she felt that spot on my back. She did some maneuvers, She felt it again. I told her about my symptoms. And then we realized that I can now turn my head 10 degrees to the right. And when I do that, and you put your hand on the spot, you can feel movement. So something in my spine is moving. And that's not good, because it wasn't a week ago. So it looks like we're gonna need an x-ray. My guess is that maybe there's some broken hardware. I don't know what else it would be. I don't think that there's many other options, but we're already on our way anyway to go get MRIs of my leg. So we're kind of like frantically calling around and seeing if we can get my doctor to order an x-ray while we're already at the imaging department. Otherwise, I don't know, you might have to go to urgent care. She's got me wrapped up differently in this sling so that my arm and shoulder is immobilized, but also so that this shoulder is immobilized. And I don't think that this setup is really going to last very long. Obviously, having loose hardware and screws in your spine and next to all of the really important nerves and blood vessels is really not a good thing. Could get dangerous pretty fast if something were to happen. So we're trying to stay on top of that, take that seriously, but also juggle the knee and the leg issues because we don't want to put those off. It's crazy right now. I feel kind of like the Tin Man. I can only move just like one leg and like part of one arm. Okay, so we just made it to the MRI place. We haven't been able to get them to fax an order for the x-ray in. We've been driving for 3 hours. It was definitely a rough drive. I am in a ton of pain in my neck. I have a horrible headache. I'm starting to feel really ill. And now I have to go get 2 hours of MRIs. And we might still have to go to an emergency room or an urgent care after that. I'm just so tired. I feel so sick. And just on top of that, as we're in the car, like one of the latches just broke off my leg brace. Just broke clean off, just snapped off. So now the leg brace is broken. Not gonna lie, I started bawling. It was just too much, but I think I kind of fixed it enough for now. I don't know, guys. All right, I gotta go get that MRI. And we'll see where we go from there, okay? Okay, so I made it through the MRIs for my leg. It was honestly actually the nicest MRI place I've ever been to. They had like really cool lights all around the room, and they were like projecting like ocean scenes all on the walls, and everyone was really nice. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get through to any of my doctors to get an x-ray ordered for my neck. And I'm gonna be honest, the pain is just getting worse, and my headaches are getting worse, and my nausea is getting worse. I'm starting to actually get worried. I think I was technically supposed to go to the ER, but you guys know just how important these MRIs were to me, so I just couldn't miss that appointment. And then tomorrow morning we have another important appointment with the orthopedics, so I didn't want to like go anywhere tonight and get stuck. So we're driving around looking for a place that has a better sling. We just tried CVS, and by we I mean my mom, because I don't even know if I can get up at this point. And I guess now we're gonna go to Walgreens.
Now Target is open, but I would think Walgreens over Target, right?
Target might have it. They had noon. Okay, well apparently nowhere in the world has a sling, so this one's gonna have to do. That's okay. I think I'll be alright. Hi guys! So I'm trying to think back when the last time I talked to you was. I think I had just gotten home from our very unfruitful search for an immobilizing sling. A lot has changed since then, and will probably change 10 more times. But basically, Trish talked to my neurosurgeon, in Maryland, and he is ordering a CT scan of my neck and my upper back. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. And then I took the saddest shower that ever did shower. I could not move. My mom had to completely strip me down and basically carry me into the shower, where I just sat on this stool under the hot water for like a half hour and didn't move. I was really starting to lose the ability to move both arms and most of my upper body. But then I had the idea, hey, why don't I try putting on that brace with the thoracic piece attached to it? So we're like, okay, we got me all dressed and put the brace on, and instantly I'm like so much more functional and I'm in so much less pain. Like, I can use my arms again. It's just unreal how helpful it is. I feel like almost like my spine was two giant pieces. It was like my neck and my back, and with every movement was like tearing them from each other. And so this kind of just holds everything together, and I'm feeling so much better. And it's going to get me through my appointment tomorrow. It kind of stinks because I've been waiting all of this time to get answers for my leg and to see these doctors, and I was just kind of like excited to finally be getting somewhere with that. And this whole weird neck thing just totally took over. So now I have to like somehow get up and ready at like 7 o'clock tomorrow or today for an appointment with the nerve specialist to go over some of my test results for my leg. He literally got me dressed in my outfit for tomorrow because it was such a hassle trying to put clothes on. I have to get up in like a few hours, so it wasn't worth changing twice. Still just like shocked that this brace is helping so much. This like thoracic extension is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, because I've worn some pretty uncomfortable thoracic braces that didn't do half as good of a job as this one does. This is like the same brand as these neck braces, the Aspen Vista, and it's compatible with a few of the designs, so I just kind of snap it on and off the various designs. You guys have seen it. It's just so much more comfortable than any thoracic brace that I've worn before. I better get to sleep. I have no idea what tomorrow is going to be like. I just know it's going to be crazy. And my nurse is coming again to re-access me tomorrow because I de-accessed my port for the MRI. I talked to like a bunch of the nurses there. I talked to my nurse, and they were all a little bit like, well, the port's fine to go into the MRI machine, but is the needle okay since it's metal? You don't want it like ripped out of your chest. So we get there and I'm talking to the nurse, and she was like, yeah, you know, you better take it out just in case and stuff like that. So I literally was like pulling it out when the tech came in and said, oh, actually, you can keep it accessed. Like, there's no problem. You could have told me that before. So I had to pull it anyway because it wasn't sterile anymore. And let me tell you, pulling out your own port needle in like the waiting room of a doctor's office with one arm, interesting. Good morning, you guys. I wish I could say that it's been a while. Fairly early appointment right now for my leg. I am seeing the nerve specialist. I think it's probably more like a neuromuscular specialist within the orthopedic practice. And we're going to go over the results of my EMG test that I had on Monday, and hopefully he'll take a little peek at my MRIs. I don't know. The big meeting is going to be on Monday when I'll be seeing 2 more specialists, and I think that's when we'll make a plan. But I'm hoping to get a little information out of him now. I'm feeling a little bit better. Wearing this brace has completely saved me. That and the CBD balm from Thurs, seriously, they're keeping me alive. I can use my arm a little bit now, but the second I take the brace off, I lose it all again. So I have strict orders to keep the brace on at all times. We're still working on getting imaging for my neck. My doctor wants a CT scan, but his office isn't answering, and they're the ones who have to fax the orders. So we'll see what comes of that. I would like to get that done today, but never any promises. I feel like I didn't even get a chance to like prepare for this appointment. I've been waiting for these appointments for so long, and now with all this neck stuff going on, that's just taken priority. But my goodness, it would be so great if they could find something to help my knee. Fingers crossed, lots of prayers. We'll see what happens. Just got out of the appointment with the nerve specialist. He was incredibly kind, very validating. He's definitely talking surgery. He doesn't think there's really a way around it. So the plan would be to use an allograft, like a donor ligament, or a synthetic ligament to try to stabilize my tibia and fibula. That way we don't have to fuse them. That would be a lot more of a surgery, a lot more of a recovery, and it would be pretty difficult on me already having had everything else fused. We now have to get an ultrasound of my leg just to see how much movement I have, and then he's going to speak to his colleagues and we'll all have a big meeting on Monday. I did ask him if the allograft ligament would help with the patella and those chronic dislocations, and he said not really, but potentially while they're in there doing surgery they could stabilize that as well, which to me is the best option. So now we're just running around trying to get the ultrasound scheduled, and then of course I still need the CT for my spine. We're trying to get that scheduled, and it's just this crazy mess between the neurosurgeon ordering it, then my primary care's office and the insurance, and they have to get it all to the imaging office, and it's not easy getting people on the line, never mind to work together. I just get a call that they can actually take me for an ultrasound now, so that's what we're gonna do, and we'll take it from there. Okay guys, I just had the ultrasound done, and it seems like they were really able to actually see what was going on for the very first time, because I was able to do the testing while moving for the very first time. And so they were able to catch some of the weird things that have been happening when I'm moving. It appears that it's actually my nerve snapping over the head of the fibula, and the fibula being unstable, and you can hear the snapping. That's what they seem to think it is. That's what the nerve specialist we just saw seems to think it is. Nobody wants to commit to that because they are not the ones who would be doing the surgery, but I think now we have a fairly good idea of what's going on, and they are going to relay that to the doctors that I'm going to be seeing on Monday. So I feel really confident that we've kind of gone down all of the avenues that we need to make sure that we're looking at the knee as a full picture and what's going on with each part of it. This is honestly one of the best hospital experiences. I've never had an experience where it was such a team approach before, that they really just want you to see their entire staff and then they come together and make a plan. Really impressive, and especially for orthopedics, because to be perfectly honest, so far every orthopedic that I had seen had such an ego. They weren't even really willing to speak to my other doctors or therapists, never mind each other. Now I get to go home and rest for a few hours, and then I have to go get a CT of my neck. But I'm really glad that we were able to get in for today. I really did not want to have to go to the ER. I headed out to get the CTs of my neck. Oh, I fell asleep when we got home, and then my dad just woke me up and was like, you have to leave, like right now. And I was like, oh snap. So I'm still half asleep. I just rolled into the car. The FedEx guy pulled up next to us and was like, oh hey, is this your house? And we're like, yes. He's like, I have a package for you. Guess what it is? My camera. I'm so excited. Obviously I can't use it right now or break it in or even open the box, but I am so excited. It is possible that the rest of this vlog will be much better quality. It's nice to have one good thing happen today. So we just got home from the CT scans, and those didn't take very long, but then we had to wait like over a half hour for them to burn them on the discs, and then we had to go to like a FedEx and send them overnight to my neurosurgeon. And now I'm just sitting down looking at our copy of the discs. And I'm just really wondering if this is even going to show what it needs to show. They kept promising me that they were doing like a CT of the cervical thoracic junction, so like where your neck meets your back, because that's where a lot of my pain is. But somehow the orders were for a cervical and a thoracic scan. So I'm just sitting here looking at the images, and a lot of them are cut off, like right where you need to see. I'm in so much pain. The last 2 days have been insanity. I don't even know what to do or where to start from here. I'm just desperately hoping that they can tell from these images what's going on. Hope I didn't get all of that radiation for nothing. And I mean, it is kind of cool because you can see like my port and you can see my stent. I don't want to show you guys my imaging because it hasn't been reviewed by a radiologist yet, and I would prefer just not to speculate. It is kind of cool to look at, not gonna lie. And when they were setting me up in the machine, they were like, oh, do you have any metal in your body? And I'm like, you are in for quite a treat. And they were like, oh yeah, we see people with hardware all the time. And so they took the first scan and they're like, we're gonna have to change some settings around. You have an extreme amount of metal in your body. That's me. Anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it now. He'll get the images tomorrow. Hopefully he'll look at it in the next few days. And then we'll have an idea of where to go from there. I know where I'm going from here, and that is bed. So this is gonna be a good night for today. Thank you for coming along on this weird day. And if you were just thinking to yourself, gee, Christina has had a rough couple days. I wonder if her luck can get any worse. Well, I just went to rinse off my jaw splint and my arm went into spasms and I dropped it on the floor and it shattered. Can't wear this brace without a splint. It drives my jaw backwards and then it cuts off my hearing. So now for the foreseeable future, until I can get down to Virginia, I will have to wear my night splint all the time, which sounds like this. You can understand me, right? I mean, this isn't like super noticeable, right? It's like you can even tell it's there. Yeah. I can't even believe that happened. To be fair, I've had some really great things happen today. I have had a lot of answers, but these last few days have been really rough. At least my dad was able to sort of fix my leg brace. I'm very lucky to have a very handy father. He was able to screw a nut and bolt through the little piece that fell off and just put some duct tape over it so that it doesn't bruise my other leg. But yeah, it's not been my finest few days. I really hope that tomorrow is a better day. I'm just putting it out into the universe. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. It's a little bit hard sometimes when you put all of your energy and effort into something. In my case, that is taking care of my body and trying to stay on top of all the things that are trying to fall apart. And it's just not enough. I feel like I'm doing everything I can and I'm trying to do everything right, but ultimately I really have no control over this condition and the way it's going to affect my body. It feels like I'm falling apart much faster than we can put me back together. It is difficult, and it's okay to feel frustrated about that. It feels really unfair, and it kind of is. But unfortunately, life just isn't fair, and everybody has their things that they have to deal with. So I'm trying to still choose to be positive and grateful. I'm grateful that I have 2 splints and that I have a night one that I can put in to protect my jaw in the meantime. And I'm grateful that my brace was fixed. I'm grateful that we're getting answers. I'm grateful that in 2 days I will have the proper sling to hold my shoulder in place, and that will hopefully help with some of the pain. I'm grateful that we were able to get my CT disc sent out to my neurosurgeon, and that I was able to have an ultrasound done today. They fit me specially into their schedule. There's a lot of things to be grateful for, and I'm really making an effort to focus on those today. Hello guys, happy Thursday. Welcome to probably the most boring content on the internet, my bed rest adventures. I'm under strict orders not to move any of my upper body or to bear weight on my leg, which means I'm not allowed out of bed, like at all. I'm just so glad to be feeling a little bit better today. Pain hasn't gotten any better, but getting to spend the day in bed instead of hauling myself off to lots of doctor's appointments and car trips is just a little bit more comfortable. Unfortunately, tomorrow is another car day, but that does also mean physical therapy, so it's worth it. I'm just kind of hanging in here. My surgeon's office will have gotten my CT disc in the mail today. I don't know when that will be read, hopefully pretty quickly, and then we'll have some answers. At this point, I pretty much have no use of my left arm, and I can only really use my right arm below the elbow. So thank goodness for the selfie stick thingies so I can still film. I did cheat a little bit and get out of bed and sit on my floor and do a little painting. Shh, don't tell my doctors. It's actually a bit more uncomfortable to sit in bed and to lean up against something because it pushes into that spot on my back. I prefer to sit up with nothing behind my back, but after a little while of painting, I had to get back in bed. But also, do you notice anything different? Like, perhaps the quality of this video just got so much better? That is right, I'm filming on my new and improved camera. The camera that they sent me back is actually a model better than the one I had before because they're no longer selling that old model. They did still charge for the repairs that were necessary for the old model. I don't quite understand how that works, but all I know is I got a swanky new camera. And I just want to thank Mo once again. It's just all too kind of you. You are wonderful. This new camera is wonderful. I will treat it like my child. I already have a few video scripts. I can't wait to film. The bed rest thing might be a bit of a challenge, but I think we can work around that. This is so great. Guys, look at the difference. This is on my camera. Phone. Camera. Phone. Camera. See? So much better. Okay, we are just pulling out of PT now. I have a new setup here with the arm. I thought this disease was supposed to be invisible. I don't think my body got the memo on that one. But anyway, my imaging was kind of the talk of the town. It's pretty rare, I guess, to see someone with so much hardware and such diverse hardware. And so it was really cool to look at. I thought it was cool, and so did the other therapists. But my situation seems to be worsening. She said things definitely are moving, and they were a lot looser than they were even last time. There was a lot of things clunking around that should not have been clunking around. It wasn't immediately evident to any of us on my imaging, but we kind of don't know what we're looking for. So we will have to defer to the expert on that one. I do feel a lot better in this sling. It takes all of the weight off of my shoulder, having to hold up my arm because I just can't do that on my own right now. But I have to say, it's a little bit restricting. I really can't even get my hand out. Let's see, you can get one finger. So this is gonna take some getting used to for sure. It's especially hard having this and then the whole leg braced. I feel a bit claustrophobic, and I also feel a bit nervous. Like if I were to trip, I don't really have the ability to catch myself. I really shouldn't be bearing weight on my leg anyway, so it's gonna be a boring few days. Yeah, Trish was concerned, and we're concerned. She said that it's safe-ish to leave this for the next few days, but not for the next few weeks, and that's all I know so far. Loving having my camera back. Guys, we are finally home from physical therapy. I have to say that long drive is getting just a little bit more difficult for me to do, but it is still so worth it. It's still like the #1 thing that's helping me make it through. You gotta do what you gotta do. But on the way home, we got a call from a nurse at my surgeon's office, and she's not a nurse that we're really familiar with. And she was basically saying that he was willing to write a script for me to have injections for the pain in my neck. And I kind of felt like that was the wrong direction to be heading in. If I felt like this was purely a pain issue that I was dealing with, then I would consider it. But I really feel that something is moving in my neck and something is very wrong. So despite the fact that they didn't really see very much to be worried about on the CT scan, something more is going on that we're not figuring out. And so to me, getting injections would kind of be like putting a band-aid on something that needs stitches. And more than that, I would be worried that it would be masking the pain, and the pain is what is telling me that what I'm doing is doing damage, and I really don't want to end up with nerve damage. I don't want to end up wearing this straight jacket sling for the rest of my life. I need my arms, and I don't think that just having a steroid injection or an anesthetic injection is really gonna cut it. It's really difficult because it's hard to catch these things on imaging. And that's why I'm so thankful that I have Trish, my physical therapist, because she is able to feel in real time what's going on. She can keep track of the changes. She sees me twice a week, so she knows when things are getting worse. So I told them to call her, and she is perfectly willing to talk to them. Today I had even more range of motion in my neck than I had last time, and a lot more popping and clunking feelings. You could pretty much hear them, which wasn't very pleasant. And I'm counting on that nurse to relay my message to my surgeon, and we can try to put together a better plan. Hello guys, it is now Sunday morning. I just woke up and now I am editing through this week's vlog. It's definitely a long one, but you guys all said that you liked long vlogs, so here you go. I expected sleeping in like this whole contraption to be a whole lot more uncomfortable than it was. I was actually able to get some better sleep than I have been in a long time, just because I'm not waking up with pain every time I move. So it's much less awful than I expected. I'm still just in so much pain though that I can't really do much. So unfortunately, I think that I'm going to have to close down my Etsy shop just for now, which is actually something I've been wanting to do for a while. Not because I don't want to sell on Etsy anymore, for the complete opposite reasons. I have so many pieces of jewelry and scarves and hats that I want to list. I have this whole new jewelry line coming out soon, and I think I just need a little bit of time to get it all set up. I just kept putting it off, but now I'm kind of forced to shut it down. So it'll be a nice little break for me, and I will reopen it very soon with a lot of new additions. If you have already placed an order, don't worry, that is still coming. I'm working on it. Unfortunately, the work is slow going, but it will arrive to you. So yeah, I feel really bad about that, but what can you do? But anyway, I just keep making this longer and longer. Thank you for coming along on this week. This week has been probably one of the craziest weeks of my life. It was just complete chaos, and it's still chaos. If you like this video, I think you already know what to do about that. And if you want to see more videos, I think you know what to do about that as well. And I will see you guys next week. Let me see if I can wave. Bye!